going to record in 3, 2, 1. Are you ready, Luke?
I'm ready.
Are you ready, Luke?
I'm here.
All right. This is Moe Alabdullah.
And this is Luke Cole.
And this is Sweet Canal, where it's free for you to listen to. Alright, I have tried a lot of intros so far. Sometimes we're just like, are we starting? I didn't even fix my mic, and other intros will be like, I don't have my headphones, and other intros are, hold on a second, we didn't hit record on that camera.
It's on.
It's on.
Yeah.
So good news, the show is on YouTube. Like people already know that, but this is for people on YouTube actually, who don't have access to Time Warner, which is basically everyone.
Everyone in the world has access to YouTube if they have streaming.
Yes.
Digital.
But this is kind of specifically for people who have access to Time Warner TV other than just the internet. There's a channel called KHEN TV, which is run by UMKC. And on KHEN TV.
KHEN.
KN?
KHEN.
KHEN. Hen. Because
isn't that from your language? Isn't that a sound that is made in...
That was like, am I making a mistake here reading it?
Do it again.
Okay. Hen TV.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a letter. Let's get lost again. We have a we have a letter in Arabic that's called kha. A lot of people catch on that and know that it is Arabic because kha is kind of common in Arabic. Khanruh, which is let's go. Khalid, which is a name. So if Khalid wants to get a passport, they have to put his name in Arabic and English too. It's kind of standard. So his name would be not K-A-L whatever. It will be K-H-A-L-I-D. So when you pronounce it in English, it's Khalid, which is kinda, but not really. Pronounces the letter Kha. So if you can't pronounce the letter Kha, you say Khalid. Therefore, KHEN TV, and if I want to kind of translate it to Arabic, I would say Khalid. I mean Khan. Sorry, Khan TV. Khan TV is it's just a short for something that kind of like I'm not sure. I have to look up the abbreviation again, but it's kind of related to school stuff.
Okay, their abbreviation, it's call letters. I think it's great.
That channel is channel 17 on Time Warner, KHEN TV. If you have a different channel order, look it up by letter. KHEN TV.
And that goes out to a lot of people, so that's moving forward, huh?
That's right.
Good, Mohammed. Way to go.
We kind of mixed it up.
Good.
By showing it on TV, people may be able to, like you say, I don't want to watch it at that time. I want to watch it on some other time. So they go on YouTube and watch it on their own. But if people on YouTube kind of, I don't know, like it's kind of here and there. If people on YouTube don't want to listen on YouTube, want to listen to it live, they can tune in on Wednesdays, for example, and listen to the live version, but there is no video. Unless, again, I like sit outside and watch.
And I can't find the archives, so I cannot find the archives of KRU on our website. We
need to get that going. You can, okay, so basically the system, how it goes is, when we log off, it's not dead air. It will play from the archives, right?
Right.
And people who are listening will say, oh yeah, that's from the archives or something, and so on. But they cannot actually choose what to watch. If they want to do that, they will have to go to your, let's say private channel on YouTube.
Well, I think
or something.
we should access. Shouldn't we be able to help?
That would be a good idea, but it kind of puts things that...
It costs some money.
I'm not sure. It depends on the
money to do
bandwidth first.
So it costs some money to put the the platform together.
Yeah,
it could be accessed. I think it'd be a smart play.
It's kind of
so many good programs, man.
Yeah, it's kind of smart play. Kind of promotes the website itself, but some students are already are putting their stuff on iTunes and podcasts and so
really?
on. Pandora. I'm trying to work on that, but I don't wanna push myself too much. So I'm kind of like easing it in instead of like all of a sudden so much stuff to do. So
that's excellent.
Muhammad says a lot. It's my second language.
No, you know what? I never noticed that, so I would notice that.
I noticed that. I took a presentation strategies class where if you say the teacher would ring a bell.
Wow.
And 3 bells are out.
Practice. Good practice.
It puts you in a very difficult situation. We're going to talk about that in a second. So I was able to manage that station. I was able to schedule the programs. Basically, Sweet Canal plays on at 12 at midnight every day and plays some other time during the day or night. So because 12 a.m. is available every day, and it's basically plays from the archives, just such as this one for 8 or 9 hours sometimes. So it's like kind of dead air. So I played it once over there, and plays the archives, and then goes back to the normal program. And I didn't interrupt any program yet. So if there's an hour free here and there at 3 p.m., at 1, at 9, I will put that program in.
Good job. Very
Hopefully
exciting.
yours soon, as soon as we edit yours and stuff.
Good. Yeah, well...
don't worry about it. We'll get it. We'll get it. Yep. So going back to the presentation strategy stuff, I've done presentations in my life. I've done presentations where I read from a paper, where I look at the slides, where I just allot it, where I made a mistake and the teacher caught me in front of his student, which is so embarrassing that I could have left the class, but I didn't. I did it. I just put everything in post-it notes in front of me. I basically I was acting that I am perfect or whatever, that I can do it.
Not professional, knowledgeable about the subject.
It turns out to be I have notes.
You are knowledgeable about a lot of subjects.
Oh, that was 2011.
Okay. That's a while ago.
That's a while ago. Yeah.
7 years is a big shift in people's mentality and their knowledge
Actually,
base.
these years there's a difference between 2013 and today. 14 is way less, but that jump between 2013 and now, I feel it's different. I don't know if it's just in me or just the world is there's a progress. There's a strange progress.
Isn't it interesting to look back and reflect on that?
Yeah,
all the different situations you've been in, all the places you've traveled. Since you're an international student, you've traveled all over the world.
Well, airports. I've seen people.
To get home, you travel all over the world.
To get home, I will have to go Amsterdam, or Germany, or Turkey, or
sounds fun.
Something here and there.
Sounds fun.
Sounds fun. It is a very, very long wait.
Do you ever take a day out? Like, do you split your trip so you can take a day? Like,
stay in somewhere?
Yeah.
I just want to get home. I can't. Well, that's a good idea, though.
Well, some places like Turkey, or Amsterdam, or London, or Germany, you know, just depending, or Greece. I don't know if you go through Greece, probably not, but there's so many nice places to visit.
I usually wash my hand after Greece, you know.
Dude, the cleanest subway I've ever been to was in Athens. I mean, like, I saw ladies with their, like, squeegees and sponges and little spray bottles, you know, cleaning out the subway and cleaning off the chairs. They were amazing. I will never forget that, because it is very dirty there. It's dirty a lot of places there, but that place was clean.
So the subway tracks are full of grease. Okay.
They are full of grease, yeah. But it felt clean.
Greasy.
There were big riots going on when I was there. They're very pro-rioting and pro-assembly. I wouldn't say as much rioting, but pro-assembly. They come together and go against or fight for their rights against the government. They
went against the grain, and there was no way to turn. Okay. I don't know much about Greece. The last I know is that are they the country that went broke for a while?
They did.
That's all I know. That's the last thing I know about them. I have no idea about their culture. And
they're amazing.
I should.
It's an amazing place.
I should.
So pretty there. The food's delicious. Every place. There's a lot of culture there. You know, that's kind of like where the Olympics started. Greece.
The food is
Athens.
delicious is when you're hungry.
The Olympiad. Olympus.
Write that note.
The food is delicious. Is most delicious when you're hungriest. That's right. That's right. And any kind of food sometimes tastes good, but truly, I prefer that Mediterranean food.
There's something about it. There is
Oh,
something.
yeah.
I mean, I like it not because I'm from there. I just do. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It is different.
The Middle East, the Middle East, North Africa diet. It stretches, you know, Greece can be there. That's like right there in this, but into Europe. You're on the side of Turkey.
I hate it when restaurants call themselves Mediterranean, and they kind of use that and don't make food that is actually Mediterranean in a way. Just like make the texture in a way different or something. So it makes like people think that this is Mediterranean food, but it is not. So I've been in a couple of places where they were not, at least not the style I'm used to. But there are other places who know how to actually, like basically representing culture.
Here in Kansas City?
Yes.
Good. I have found a place, and I have known of it for a long time, but Cameron and I went there this weekend with Oliver. It's the Jerusalem Cafe.
Westport?
Yes. They
Amazing.
have a lunch buffet.
Amazing.
Amazing.
I love it.
Amazing.
Presentation strategy. I still have a couple of thoughts. I want to wrap it up.
Okay.
So presentation strategies. We had to not say this word, which is or like or and stretch on it, where it shows for a person who is critical about your presentation will say, yeah, that person is thinking about what he's saying. Therefore, he's stretching the word and. Also, you cannot ramble. You cannot just say words that just to cover time up. You cannot stand behind a podium. A podium can psychologically act like a barrier, a protector for you. So sometimes you can see psychologically talking. If you kind of talk to me and I don't want to talk to you, or I am trying to be protective or something, I would just do this. It might be just I'm cold, or I just like doing it. But that means basically I don't want to talk, or I'm kind of protecting myself, or kind of putting a shield. You notice that move in people in their adolescence, where there's confidence, there's less of that. Or in younger people, if you remember yourself, you might have done it on several occasions too.
I have.
Yes. So
I try to stand with my hands crossed down near the belt area, you know,
like
together.
a karate stand.
Kind of like a karate stand. I also have my hands to the side, or I have them behind me, grasped. Sometimes I have my hands on my hips, like Superman. With no cape.
I do that pose, but I'm not sure when. I do that.
Yeah.
I remember I caught myself a couple of times doing that pose, but I don't know when. It's a power pose though.
Superman
flies around.
Yeah, and then there's Tarzan. I don't ever beat my chest like Tarzan though.
No, that's kind of
but truly those were remarkable characters in my life, in your life. American life, you know, American Hollywood life.
Yeah.
It makes an impression on us. Those people teach us. So, I mean, those characters and storylines really teach us quite a bit about life and about our existence here, right now, in this epic, this time period. Very dominant part of our life.
There is a movie called B13, if you recall that or not. But basically, it's about this kid that lives in a, not kid, lives in a bad neighborhood, and he kind of just parkour around instead of kind of running on the street or something.
Just what?
Parkour, like jump from a building to another, jump from a window to another.
Okay.
Jumping and then holding a bar above somewhere and kind of tangle and get away with it. I kind of like that movie because like it's very physically demanding. And
it's base jumping. He's jumping on these buildings, and is it film him doing this? Part of the movie, in and out of it.
Yeah, I think that's his skill. I haven't seen him in other movies.
Okay, gotcha.
I think that's kind of his thing. Yeah, movies put your impression on us. We watch Jackie Chan.
He liked Jackie Chan, I know.
Yeah, we almost all of us grew up with him around the movies. And he has so old of a movies that
He's
like
still making movies.
I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that, seriously. Some of those old movies, even the colors are not correct or not as today advanced as today. Some of them are even on square screens. Speaking of square screens, yesterday I opened my personal photo archive on my laptop, and I just let it run randomly in sequences, and just sometimes shows a picture from here, sometimes it shows a picture from Saudi, sometimes it shows a picture in the airport, sometimes it shows a picture of food and stuff. Some pictures are so old they're just squared, but it brings memories back, and I kind of use that to be like, yeah, I have a program tomorrow and I want to kind of watch something. It might jog my memory on some stories that I want to talk about.
Okay.
So one story I would like to talk about, and I hope I don't sneeze. 2011, 12, maybe even 10. I gained a friend of mine. He called himself Music, and there's another shout out for you. I know you're gonna watch this on TV, on Snapchat me about it. He likes the show.
Good.
So, his brother works in a oil rig, okay? And those oil rigs are not in public cities where like you can see and go and commute over there. No. You have to go somewhere to be picked up by a bus.
Right.
And that bus will drop you off somewhere in the middle of a remote area. We could call it a desert. People who work in the ocean, they will be picked up by a helicopter as well. Yes, I see their Snapchat, and like a lot of people. Like I had a friend of mine who was holding on for one arm and the other one was Snapchatting.
Coming off of an oil rig in the water. Something.
Even I think he's out or something, or in one of them. But he was in the air. But he was Snapchatting it. I'm like, this is amazing. But it is a very, very, very difficult environment to live in. Other than the safety hazards, which are unimaginable. They are unimaginable. Not a friend, I heard about someone who kind of like pushed it a little bit, that washing thing, power wash thing, too much, and it kind of like
pushed him off the deck.
No, like basically, it's like right in a bowl. It hit him in a wall.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he passed away later on.
Oh my gosh.
He continued working. He thought nothing happened, but it was internal bleeding. That's bad. I have another friend who works in the ocean, and basically you have to do 10 to 12-hour shifts. Because don't say you have a social life. You cannot.
No, you're working and you're sleeping.
You're working and you're sleeping. That's
yeah, because it's so tough.
Yeah. So they take care of that in a way that.
That sounds crazy, Muhammad.
They bring a chef in there, an actual chef that makes most delicious stuff ever. Because that's that's required kind of for
I bet.
for to make people a little bit comfortable, I can say. So
Sorry, buddy.
it's okay. Okay.
Okay, we're done.
So I was my friend talked to me and he said he is going to his brother oil rig
Okay.
in order to drop off a care package, like some sodas and some
That's
stuff.
nice. He's gonna take a ride out there?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, they can do that. Family members once in a while, or is he living out there? The brother's living on the oil rig then?
Yes. And it was towards the end where there's like 10 days left or more, so he was like, he was missing stuff that are home. He called me up, Muhammad, would you like to go with me on a trip? Of course, I'm not gonna let you go alone. It was basically 300 kilometers,
Okay.
so it wasn't too far.
About 400 miles.
No, 300 kilometers
Oh,
or
that's just 300 kilometers.
maybe 190.
Oh, 190, okay.
Mhm.
Oh, it goes, okay.
Oh yeah, 160, maybe less.
Okay.
So we
I multiplied it, I went the other way.
we drove that afternoon to that oil rig. We stopped by a small town. We call it in Arabic a village, but in here you call it town or a small town.
Mhm.
And it
Was
was
this on the highway?
we're not on a highway anymore.
Out in the middle of nowhere.
Kind of like it was one way out and one way in.
There's a lot of desert out there, buddy.
Mhm.
A lot.
I still
scary.
have no idea where that is. I
scary.
still have no idea where that's like. Anyway, we stopped there to we left at sunset, in the afternoon, and we arrived there kind of the sun settling.
Is it desert everywhere?
No.
No.
There are buildings, there are stuff.
There is?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you
But-
were out in the middle of the desert, man.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
But we drove on an empty road basically, left and right. It's basically empty. There are gas stations, but there's no much going on.
Okay.
We stopped by the town and decided to pray over there too. We noticed ourselves like, yeah, we are strangers. Like, you can pick us. Yes, those two people are strangers.
You stuck out?
Yes, we really stuck out, and that kind of raises the fear a little bit. Because, yeah, you are in the middle of nowhere, and even the cops are local too, so you're basically a separated place. But we were kind of careful, but nothing happened actually. But at the same time, we went to a place where you can eat a freshly baked bread, like in front of you right now. I
Nice.
want 2 pieces. He will make it in front of you.
In a brick oven?
Mm-hmm.
It's like naan.
Yes.
What do you call it?
Yes. We call it khubuz, which is bread.
Hobas.
Yeah.
Do you put like chutneys on it? Like jam?
Nothing.
Jellies? Nothing? It's straight
Nothing.
up?
But the one we ordered.
I want to get some bread right now, man.
The one we ordered has cheese inside, alright?
Yum.
He basically wraps it around
Sounds good.
and dips it into that thing and like sticks it to the wall, but the brick wall until it's done. You cannot eat it immediately because that's gonna burn you. It's not like the normal bread, but when that kind of cheese is hot, it is hot.
Mm-hmm.
But it was one of the most delicious
Oh, I bet, dude.
ever.
I
They
bet.
sell that kind of cheese in here too.
Mm.
I can let you know about it or where to get it. It is very delicious.
We just need to go. I felt like the Jerusalem Cafe was something that spread Mediterranean. I mean, it's a very broad amount of food there. We just need to go over and have lunch over there or something, so we can talk about the food. So you can tell me about this food because I really like all that food.
There are some places where you just go and order whatever you feel appetizing, and it will be good.
Mm-hmm.
Not a whole lot of places can do that.
Oh my gosh, it is. They're not paying us to talk about them. I was really impressed. I was impressed. They have a huge brick oven there too.
I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
I will have
We'll
to
go
check
over
that
there
out.
for lunch. We will. I'm gonna go back.
So we left the town. Now we are even more remote, and it's after dark. And the car we have is not really considered a four-wheeler, as in you go off-road with it, but it is a four-wheel drive. I don't think it's gonna survive. But it's not like some cars that this is a four-wheeler and it can go above and out and everywhere off-road and on sand cliffs and stuff and have so much fun, which reminds me of another fun story. But this one has like the, I don't know, off-brand. It's not off-brand, but it doesn't have the four-wheel drive is just the name of it. It doesn't really work. So we got off-road, and his brother told him that he has to follow certain signs that are in the sand. Short, like the election ones, like vote for this one or vote for that. That's the short ones. It's like that because in that area you don't need an actual like 6 foot high signs. So we followed the signs. It was easy to get in, and we kind of like see marks on the sand and go turn left and turn right, turn left and right. We got there to the oil rig. Muhammad, get to the point. Okay. We drop off the stuff and we were very, just say, nice. We gave his brother his stuff. We saw a couple of his friends. They are from the same city that we are. Oh, hey, how you doing? Kind of feels nice to them to see us. And we were like, yeah, we gotta hit the road. And we went back. The signs are not the opposite. Like it's not. You cannot see it from the other side. So we kind of like have to remember and go. We were kind of on a split street where we said, you have to make a decision. Do we have to go left or right? We don't know. And it's the opposite where we went in. It's kind of like if we expected to be here, we're not. If we expected to turn left, it's not right, and so on. It's different. Maybe during the day it would be different. So we hit a sand cliff and the car got stuck. And by that time we are far from the highway, and we are far from the rig oil. And I'm like, this is so frustrating. Like it's just the both of us. My friend tried to get the car out. It got stuck even further, and we had to step off the car and kind of like dig our way out in order to move on, but that didn't happen either. So the car just basically got stuck. And I said, well, we have to walk back to that oil rig. He said, we can wait here. I'm like, wait for what? Till morning comes in and then they leave their shifts and see us and kind of like get us out? That's not gonna really work. So I was like basically pissed at him. So dude, we have to walk back to that oil rig right now. And I still can see a couple of trucks on the highway, but it's too far. It's too far. We have to take that specific road because other than that, there's like you can see oil pipes around. So I don't know why I brought my laptop. I hid it under the seat, and I had a couple of sodas that I packed in my pocket. Sodas are good in that. I mean, not really good, but good in that situation because they are loaded with sugar. We started walking, and it was really dark, like super dark, and I can see small things moving, like such as rats. Supposedly there's supposed to be coyotes around, but I haven't met any. I actually had the soda can in hand, not for the reason of thirst, for reasons that I can hit something with it as a protection. So what we did that time, we started walking towards the rig oil, and how we found out that rig oil, it has a kind of a very high
like smokestack.
Light.
There's a light.
Yeah.
flame coming off.
No, just normal light, like LED
okay.
light.
Okay.
Yeah, that flying smoke thing is in other places, but
Okay.
it exists too. So we walked about, I don't know, 20 minutes maybe, I don't know. And as soon as we arrived there, they kind of, it's an open area. And they kind of like made some sand around it in a way that a car cannot get in. And then maybe it's kind of like a fence, but with sand around it, except the gate. So we kind of climbed that up and went to the security gate. The security gate has an actual local person. He might be from that town. He might be a person who likes to live in the desert. Some people still do that.
The Bedouin tribes?
But yes.
Okay.
Original Bedouin. So I asked him and said, we have the car, and we were here earlier, if you remember us, and the car is stuck. Can you help us? He basically said, I'm too lazy to get up, I want to watch TV. That's what basically...
Oh no.
I was basically like that. And after all...
At least you found it.
Huh?
At least you found it. That's
Well,
a long journey.
A little bit, yes. Yeah. So after a couple of minutes, his son showed up. And his son had one of those Toyota pickups car. And we asked him again. He said, okay, I can take you there and try to get your car out.
Good.
So me, my friend, and that Toyota guy car thing, and one of the workers, we kind of like sat in the front, and we went back to the car. I think he had some kind of rope or something to get the car out, and he actually, we were trying to get it out, and he actually almost got stuck too. So that is not an easy place to get stuck in. I mean, our car kind of shit, not as good as his car, and his car almost got stuck too. We got out and we had to empty our tires, so we had to kind of go back a little. I don't know why my friend wanted to go back there. We could have just left. Well, on our way back, the workers over there basically stole a bus and were going back to us to save us. That was a very, very generous. That was very, I can say, joyful to live. But we went back and I saw the supervisor and I said, why wouldn't you let someone comes out to save us? He said, we are a contract company and these equipments are owned by some other company. I said, dude, this is like, we're stuck. This is an actual emergency. Later on, we just like left and got back home safely. And it was an exciting experience, but I forgot about that for years. Until
you were looking through your photos on your computer, maybe. Okay.
It reminded me, but it got me kind of a wisdom out of it.
Okay.
Can be a thought of the day as well, which says, no matter how dark it is, just keep going. At the end, you will find the light.
Because it's gonna be morning eventually. You walk through the
What
night.
if you were in a tunnel?
That's right.
What if you were,
if you got your blinders on,
wow.
maybe you need to take maybe you need to take your hat off.
That's right.
Maybe you need to take those goggles off.
Right. It's sunshine over here, and the sun
It's pretty out. The leaves are beautiful.
The sun gives you vitamin D, which is good for you and for your body. It can contribute to your own happiness. You gotta get out.
We are on the beautiful campus of University of Missouri, Kansas City, in the heart of America. Kansas City, Missouri. We are the Sweet Canal, a radio program brought to you by the KRU Student Radio Organization. which will be showing up very soon on Channel 17, Khen. We have Mohammed, Moe the guest, and I'm Luke. No, I'm sorry. We have no guests on this show right now. Actually, Mohammed is the man. I'm the guest, pseudo guest.
Well, you have been here for all the episodes so far.
I know, but you can get rid of me quickly if you want. You can get me off. It's like you might call someone else and like you're tired of me or something like that, or we just keep going with it. I liked it. I've liked it so far.
It's not gonna be difficult only for me. It's gonna be difficult for the viewers as well. They'll be like, "Where's Luke? Where's Luke?
Nice
Where's Luke? Where's Luke?" Downvote.
No, no, Mohammed brings the concepts and the topics to the table. I'm just there merely for some background and some some other ideas.
Resonate.
Mm-hmm.
Getting lost in the desert. Finally, we're mentioned cheese.
You wanted to tell that story for a while.
It says mention cheese.
Mention the cheese. What about the cheese?
The cheese that we ate.
Inside the dessert, inside the bread.
Yes.
Okay.
This is how much this story means to me.
I think it does. A lot. It must have been real tragic at one point. You were really freaked out.
There was a lot of freaking out in my early... But I learned from it. It gives me this peaceful, current vibe, I can say. I don't know, that's the perfect word for it.
It just takes you back to a happy place.
Takes me back to a happy place.
That's right.
There was one assignment a couple of years ago where I was supposed to build my own brand. And my brand's slogan is "Find Your Peace." That I don't have a happy place to go to. I just I'm here and I need to find my peace right here.
That's good.
I don't want to go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. That's really good.
Going somewhere else, I can just look up something online and I'll be like, yeah, the ocean. It doesn't feel real. Those are pixels, not the reality. You're not gonna feel the humidity.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna feel the wind. I mean, you can put a fan, but still. Catch us on YouTube. Search for Sweet Canal. Where's Sweet for you to listen to? Or search for Luke Cole. LUKEKOHL. And then you'll find some of his videos. And you'll find this channel's video.
There's Shay.
Here's Shay. I need to look for the next segment. So, up to this point, you had appointments in your life. Every class period is called an appointment. Basically, your doctor's appointment, your driving license appointment, court appointments, embassy stuff. What I learned, which is pretty common for people to have it, but they are out of the habit for some reason. I am too sometimes. Sometimes I arrive late for this show too. It happens. And I can see why before it happens, and that was the critical element of it. I basically live 10 minutes away from campus. And I can park somewhere that is 10 minutes away from not this building, but the usual building we study at. So that's 20 minutes of active. But I still don't leave home a half hour before the class because I know I'm not gonna make it. Because you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna forget something and go back home after I reach the stairs. You know, sometimes traffic lights are just against you. Sometimes it's just time flies when you're actually doing something. I noticed that. So the crucial part here, maybe I can measure how much time I need from home to class on the opposite but I cannot measure a time where it's a little bit further, where it's 20 minutes drive, where it's 30 minutes drive, where it's 2 hour drive. I can't measure that. I will have to go way earlier than I am supposed to. You never know what you're gonna forget. Here's one example. I had an appointment with the U.S. Embassy in order to get my visa and come here. It's basically 1.5 hour drive, but my appointment was at 10. I kind of left home at 7 or 6. And I got there, and I found out that I have some missing documents.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I did not go back. I was like, I'm gonna go in anyway.
Yeah.
I got through, but those stuff will happen. You will have to stop at the gas station. You might be hungry and stuff. So that happens. On another time, on not the same city as another city that is nearer, but still 1.5 hour or 2 hours away, I had an IELTS test, which is basically the equivalent of TOEFL.
Tofu?
TOEFL test.
Okay,
where you would
TOEFL.
TOEFL, yes.
Yeah.
TOEFL. IELTS is like IELIT somewhere, and then
The language test. Okay.
All right, we kind of have to take it
Yes.
in order to get a college admission.
Okay.
Like some colleges will say, yeah, you have to get a 5 out of 9 in order to get in. Some other universities will say 6. I think UMKC asked for 6 or 6.5. It's not easy, because you will think it's easy at the time, but it's not. So the the test time I had was in a hotel, and I had no idea where it is. The GPS stuff is not as advanced as these days, and I arrived there basically maybe 2-3 hours earlier than the actual test date. And the security guard said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I have this test." And I actually arrived before the security were notified about the test. So I got an actual parking lot near the hotel, almost at the gate, where I walked for a couple of minutes and in. But the actual students who arrived later on, they were like in the back or like on further parking. I got into the hotel, which is, I'm not used to that life. Maybe it's a 4-star hotel or something. And I was like, those bathrooms are great. Those were one of the pictures I saw yesterday. Those bathrooms are great. Those halls are great. Everything is perfect. I took my time there.
It's good.
Yes. So I prefer to arrive super early and get bored, basically, other than stay at home and rush everything out.
It's good.
That's good. So
I'll work on. Actually, that's a really good idea. Just get there. You know, if you have to be 30 minutes.
Really early. Okay. Do not. If you think you're gonna make it, you're not. So get there earlier.
Okay.
Every time I had that thought, even coming for this program or something else, where I say, just 10 more minutes, I'll leave. And if it's kind of lesser than an hour, it usually does not work. Because I would take 20 to 30 minutes to calmly and easily find a parking lot that I am comfortable with and walk down to the building and find the class, maybe get some coffee. That will take 30 minutes easy. But it's okay to wait outside of class 30 minutes. That will give you 30 minutes window to kind of extend stuff. Maybe the coffee line is too long. Maybe the gas station line is too long. Maybe the traffic line is kind of too long of a wait. We're about 15 minutes and we're gonna be out. Luke needs some popping.
Yeah, I'm back.
I hope that mic catches it.
Not right now. It hurts.
That's kind of a good segment separator.
A stretch.
A stretch. Let's stretch that out.
7-inning stretch. That's right. Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
That's right.
Just in case, leave home earlier.
I found out a lot of stuff about Brad Pitt and that Buongiorno situation this week based on just looking for a home. I never knew that Brad Pitt had invested in Kansas City.
I know
He
that.
invested $50 million into the Bancroft Elementary School, which is on 43rd and Forest, and kind of between Forest and Virginia, one block off of Truce to the east, right there on 43rd, right by that pink house that has the, you know that guy that's out there on the pink house on like 43rd Street, 44th Street, anyways. Yeah, that Bancroft Elementary School was saved by the Make It Right Foundation out of New Orleans. This is Brad's foundation, and they tried to do some good work here. It hasn't been completed yet. They were brought into existence in 2007 after the Katrina hurricane in New Orleans. So he was able to get a majority of the government funds that went to supporting rebuilds. I think about $38 million he got for his foundation, and then they went and did some work down there. They spread out to do the Fort Peck Indian Reservation in Montana, do some work up there, and also in Kansas City, where he is trying to help us do something positive in a very segregated area, in an area that is prone to be gentrified as time goes on. Gentrification is a process of a poor level of people, economically challenged people moving out of areas where there's burgeoning hope for growth and income and job creation, and eventually those people who live there couldn't afford the rents or mortgages any longer. That happens all over, but it's part of the process. And some of these areas that are downtrodden with no plots, or the plots are empty or the homes are dilapidated, really boarded up, really bad. We have a massive land bank here with thousands of homes in the land bank in Kansas City. There are so many hundreds to thousands of homes that are boarded up throughout our neighborhoods that no one is living in. There are also many homeless people, and many tens to 15 of people live with their families in small homes. So it's just ridiculous. We have a lot of issues to solve here, hopefully in the Midwest, in the heart of America, right here in Kansas City. We're trying our best. In some areas we can improve.
What is our duty as people towards homeless people? If we don't
What is our duty to help these people? Well, I don't think there is any, like, you're not being forced to do anything, but I'd say that out of free will, as Immanuel Kant had said, that he was a man that believed in doing what was right and really following the do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And so with that in mind, you would want to be receiving some assistance if you needed it, especially while other people are judging you as a drug addict or a crackhead or an alcoholic or a family abuser or wife beater or whatever it is. You don't know anything about any of that except that they're out asking for help. And for me, if they don't look like they've been too wasted or like they're doing that, I'm prone to support that individual somehow, whether it be buy him a sandwich or some food or give him $1 or some quarters or something. That's how I feel about that. I'm limited because there's so much request, but I feel like giving always, most of the time, always, I'd say. I mean, not every time someone asks you, can you give, but you have to be a little, discerning with it. How do you feel about that?
I think we kind of talked about it, but it's kind of okay to repeat on that. I've seen some frauds who just basically ask for money
right.
to collect it. I've seen some people who have drug issues where they just collect the money at the traffic light or so on and go back to their bad habits, basically. But in order for me to help and confidently know that I have not contributed to his addiction or overdoses, basically, it's for me to give him something he actually needs. So, dude, you're homeless, so here's some food.
Right.
Dude, you're homeless, here's some clothes. So, I've looked through my suitcase and I noticed that I have a lot of clothes that I don't need anymore.
Cool.
That are too tight, too small, or something. So I put, like, when I go to groceries, I have those grocery bags. I have a lot of those, and I have a lot of those too. And I see homeless people on the way when I get to school. So it's like I want to help. So I put some of pants and a hoodie or something in a bag, and whenever I see one of them, I would give them one. If I had some food on me, I would. But I cannot give money.
Okay.
It kind of makes it safe. If you want to sell that pants, I mean, good luck. But I'm actually giving you something that you actually need. And it is winter and it is cold. So even if it's cold for me inside my home and under a blanket, and I need a heater, how about a person who's outside?
Totally, I think that's great.
I mean, it
I understand and I agree with you.
It rains a lot in this season too.
You teach me unique ways to think about things, Mohammed. That is right.
Yeah, I like to bounce off that, to check, basically reality check if what I'm doing is it correct? Am I looking at it through the right binocular?
I think that's good.
8 minutes. We kind of shortly talk about news. News report. Hey, this has happened. Oh, this building has been built. Oh, this person has been successful. Oh, there has been an accident, a major accident here. Oh, here's the weather for the day. But what you report is is going to reach to a large number of people. Some people count on that to reflect on the city itself. Is it a safe city to live in? Well, they check their newspapers. So the newspaper is kind of a face of what should people feel towards society and what should people feel outside of the society. So if you check a newspaper from another city and says, we built this new statue, we have opened this museum, and so on, you kind of look at it and say, that sounds like a boring place. But if you check another newspaper, oh, there has been a shooting here, oh, there has been a crime there, there has been a rash of something. That's not a boring city, but it will raises the fear percentage in you towards the city, and if you are in that city, you will be afraid too. So, what should we report, Muhammad? Well, do not focus on emphasis on what is negative. What is, yeah, this bad happened, this bad happened, this bad happened. You kind of have to equalize it with things that are good happen. As an example, and this is not like an example. There has been a major 20 car pileup on a highway. You report that. Of course you're gonna have to report that. But how many cars arrived safely on that day? Plenty. I'm not saying you should report that, but that's an example. How many people got there safely? Crimes happen everywhere. Crimes is not limited to a place. But if you only report that, that will people only know. It's like basically what I am saying is the culture of fear.
And this city is wrapped up in a culture of fear. I think for a couple different reasons. This was one of the last mainstays for slavery. Missouri, Kansas City. The white people, have been traditionally separated from the black people in the city. We even have a street truce that does that. I'm in the process of trying to be the change and activate change by going into that zone and buying a home.
Congratulations.
And thanks. Hope it happens. Yeah, I feel like if we're close to school, we can focus our attention on that, and also if we're in that area that needs this change to happen, maybe we can be a catalyst for it.
Squiggle that line and make it disappear. You are one action out of many, hopefully.
There are many actions going on in that area, a lot of work being done.
I hope so. I mean, I'm not from the city, and I noticed that line.
Mm-hmm.
Without any external help, without someone telling me that line is bad or something.
It's crazy. Well, it's not a bad line. I live on both sides and interact with both sides. It's really tough to see it happening here, and to have traveled and been able to see other cities that don't have that issue, and that people live together on a more friendly basis. It's a really complicated situation we found ourselves in here.
Understandable.
Mm-hmm. But fear-based culture and society is everywhere. And I go back to the reason it's everywhere is because at some point in a person's life they snap and they decide to go the other way. And doing something that's wrong doesn't bother their moral
compass.
Yeah, their morality. Doesn't bother their morality, their moral compass.
Some things go off without anything, such as this phone, for example. It just goes off sometimes. So is temper. Control your temper. Relax. Do some yoga. That's the PSA for the day.
The PSA for today is
do some yoga.
Do some yoga.
Do not
stretch it out.
Stretch it out. I'd like to do something like this.
Stretch it out.
Stretch it out. Stretch it out. Stretch it out. Yoga poses are awesome and amazing. You loosen up your joints.
Stretch it out.
You might hurt yourself. In the far future, it will make it easier for your joints to pop, but you will be flexible. So stretch it out.
Stretch it out. Cool. You will save yourself some medical bills if you stretch it out. For sure, I know with regard to golfing and, just the movement of that sport. Semi-violent movement through the ball, whacking the ball as far as you can go. It can be tough on your body.
In order to find your peace, do some yoga and stretch it out. Find your internal peace, and you will be peaceful anywhere you are. Nobody can harm you. But if you are peaceful in there, you'll be peaceful everywhere. Try to reach early or arrive early for your appointments. Don't go with your friends into the desert without being ready.
Or having GPS.
Be the change you want to see in the world.
Or your neighborhood.
Or
your city. Or your school.
Get that courage.
Get the courage.
And do something about it.
Do what's right.
Do what's right. Do what's right. Do what's right. Do what's right. Do what's right. Do what's right. So how we should end this?
That was good.
Do what's right. Bye.